Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Study with Zainab. And today I'm again back here with you, and I'm again the first person to make the lecture of this book. This is the new lower secondary science 1, and we're going to study chapter 1, which is what is science. Okay, so let's go for the introduction. The study of science is not only for scientists, and artist needs to know what is the science of mixing colors and painting materials. We all know we tell that the study of science is only for scientists. No, it is not. It's for everyone in the life. A photographer also needs to know what is science to understand the nature of the light to take good photographs and know how to blur and add effects. And a homemaker also needs to know science so that he or she can cook well balanced and nutritious meal for the family, so we can eat healthy diet and do healthy things. And studying science, last point is that studying science help us understand the things around us and solve problems and train our mind to think logically and systematically. As we know, we always tell that the study of science is not only for scientists and the person who is a doctor or who is a scientist. No, there are a lot of branches in science, and everyone in their life needs to know what is science, because everyone of us is relating to science. Every single person in this life is relating to science. Some people needs to know about the photographs, but even a person who lives in the home do nothing, they also need to know what is science, because then they can work with all the things around us, because nowadays technology is too much and we all know that we cannot live without science. So it's very important to know what is science. Okay, so now let's move on to the what is science. Science is a systematic study of nature and how it affects us and the environment. And the second point is the way in which scientific discoveries are used to build machines and to make our life more easier and more comfortable is called technology. However, the misuse of scientific discoveries has also resulted in pollution and the invention and use and our environment and use of deadly weapons that are harmful to the environment. So we need to know the use of science with a great care. On the other hand, science is divided into many branches. These are basic branches. These are some of the basic branches: biology, chemistry, physics, math, astronomy, and geology. There are 6 branches. Okay, so as we know, science is the systematic study of nature and how it affects us and a beautiful environment. Okay, so nowadays, as I told, we use a lot of technologies. So the way all the scientific discoveries are happening and all these things to build machines and to make easier our life easier is called technology. Okay, so we know that science is greatly helpful for us, but there are a lot of because of the misuse of it. It's destroying our like earth, half of the earth, like because of the pollution and these and the 6 branches of biology. Okay, now let's go for the limitations of science. Okay, science cannot be used to find an answer to all of our questions and solve all of our problems. Like we know, it creates problems, but it also can solve problems. Like for example, we can use science to reduce the damage caused by natural disaster such as earthquake and hurricanes, but we cannot prevent from happening. We can stop them in a limit, but we cannot prevent them from happening. We can stop them in a limit, but we cannot let them not to happen. So Okay, so this is the first photo is the hurricane, and the second photo is how earthquake happens. When one plate goes under another plate, a plate brush to each other, and they just collapse. The plate collapse with each other, and then earthquake happens. This is just the photo of hurricanes, and the other is of that. Okay, now let's move forward to the scientific method. The scientific method is the most common method used by a scientist in the investigation. Observing carefully and measuring accurately, this is the first method. Second is communicating effectively. Third is making inference and developing a hypothesis. And the other is planning or designing experiment to test hypothesis. So this is the scientific method, is the main method used by the scientists to form a lot of investigation. So we have to observe, then we have to ask questions, then we have to do all these things, then a hypothesis, then a lot of experiments and test the hypothesis, and then test hypothesis, then draw, and then report. And if your hypothesis is correct, it becomes a theory, and it's not correct, it rejects, and you have to come up with a new hypothesis. And that if the hypothesis, you check the hypothesis more and it's good, then it becomes a law of science. Okay, now let's move to safety rules in laboratory. We know we use science laboratory a lot, but it's very important to know its use and how the safety rules in the laboratory. Okay, so we should know the laboratory rules before entering the laboratory, so we can be safe from all of these things that are not safe for us. Okay, so there are some of the laboratory rules which I'm gonna just tell you right now. Okay, so you have to open your book. These are the main key points I have told, but yeah, you have to. Do not enter the laboratory without teacher's permission. Open all doors and windows unless otherwise instructed by your teacher. Do not carry out any test or experiment without the teacher's permission. Read the instruction first and understand them before starting your experiment. If in doubt, always ask your teacher. Handle all apparatus and chemicals carefully and correctly. Always check the label or container before using the substance it contains. Okay, the fifth point is do not pour any unused chemical back into its container to avoid contamination. Do not taste any chemical unless otherwise instructed by the teacher. Do not eat, drink, or play in the laboratory. Do not tamper with the electric mains and other fittings in the laboratory. Work tightly, wash up all apertures, and dispose waste correctly. Return the apparatus to their proper places after cleaning. Do not remove any parts or chemicals from the laboratory. Wash your hands after all laboratory work. And now we need to know safety rules when we're heating or mixing chemicals. Wear goggles when mixing or heating chemicals. Do not place flammable substances near naked flames. Do not point the mouth of a test tube or a boiling tube which is being heated towards yourself or your friends. Okay, so now the next we need to know is when accident occur, what we have to do is report all accident, injuries, breakages, and spilling immediately to your teacher. Should a chemical get into your mouth, spit it out into a basin and rinse your mouth with plenty of water. Similarly, if any chemical comes into contact with other part of your body or clothing, wash thoroughly with plenty of water and report to your teacher. Okay, so this is what I told you right now, is that when you have to do all these things, that have to go with the safety rules in the laboratory, and when the safety rules heating or mixing, and when accident occurs, what you have to do. These are the basic things you have to do, basic and the most important things you have to do in your laboratory for your safety. It's for your benefit, not for any other person benefit. And when your friends don't know something, so you can help them by just telling them that don't do it. When they're just trying to put the chemical in your mouth, don't tell them that it's not for there. And do not ever put chemical in your mouth or contact with any other body rather than suggested by your teacher or instructor. Okay, so now let's go for the other one, which is the let's go for the other one, which is this page. Container of dangerous chemical are labeled with special symbols to warn user about hazardous nature of the chemicals. So there are a lot of symbols that we need to know for the safety of our benefit. Okay, so there is the symbol first is flammable substance, example petrol or alcohol. And the second is explosive substance, example, a mixture of hydrogen and air. Then the third is corrosive substance, example, strong acid and alkali. And the fourth is poisonous or toxic substance, example, mercury, cyanide, and chlorine. And the fourth is irritating or stimulative substances, example, chloroform, alcohol, vapor, or bromine vapor. And the third is radioactive substances, example, radioactive carbon, uranium, and platinum. So I have just linked all these things here, and there are a lot of uses. So you have to open your books and read the uses. So I always say you have to take your book and open it up while watching my video, because I just go for the main points and stuff. So you have to go for it, and you don't have to go. Okay, so now we're gonna go for the next one, which is laboratory apparatus, page number 8 and 1.4. Okay, so there are many types of apparatus are used to scientific work in laboratories. So they enable us to carry out experiments successfully and make accurate measurements or observation. So there are some of them, which are test tube, beaker, flat bottom flask, measuring cylinder, pipette, boiling tube, conical flask, round bottom flask, burette, thistle funnel, filter funnel, bell jar, crucible, water through retort stand, gas jar, evaporating dish, tripod stand, and displacement can. And there are a lot of uses for every one of them. Like test tube is for containing or heating small amount of substances, beaker is for containing chemicals, flat bottom flask is for containing chemicals when preparing gases and these kind of things. Measuring cylinder is for measuring a volume of liquid to an accuracy of 1 centimeter, and then pipette is for measuring very accurately a specific volume of liquid, and then boiling tube is for heating and small amounts of substances. And then okay, let me go for the other one. And the other one is conical flask for containing chemicals or collecting liquids, round bottom flask for preparation of gases, burette is for measuring a volume of liquid to an accuracy of 0.1 centimeter, thistle funnel is for transferring liquid into a flask, filter funnel is for separating an insoluble solid from a liquid or whatever, and bell jar is for separating an experimental setup from the outside environment, and crucible is for heating solids directly over a flame, water through is for containing water when collecting gases, retort stand is for supporting apparatus during experiments, gas jar is for collecting gases, and for evaporating a liquid from a solution is evaporating dish, and tripod stand is for supporting apparatus during heating. Displacement can is for disabled liquid to flow out through it. Spout. Okay, so it is important for us to, the next page number 11, it is important for us to acquire the correct skill of handling or using the laboratory apparatus in order to carry out experiments successfully. You will learn how to use Bunsen burner, a common laboratory apparatus. Okay, so a lot of us know about Bunsen burner. It's having a collar, an air hole, a barrel, and a gas jet. I know I haven't just apply the diagram over here, but you have to go all through these things, and just open your books right now and you will see the Bunsen burner photo over there. Okay, so this was it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and because you will find a lot of more topics and units for all of this book throughout the year, and it will help you a lot. Okay, so see you next time, and inshallah I'll be uploading every day, but if I don't, then just forgive me for that, but inshallah I'll do. Thank you so much for watching. See you all next time. Bye.